How $60 million almost destroyed Young Thug's career. Now in 2017, Young Thug went from being a trap superstar to an industry mogul with chart-topping songs like Digits and Checks, all from Barter 6. But behind the scenes, a single $60 million mistake nearly wiped it all away. Now Young Thug in his later years has been more recognized for his involvement in YSL, which is believed to be a criminal enterprise, Young Slime Life. But long before this RICO case, he was involved in some major financial problems. After Young Thug attempted to make a backdoor deal worth millions of dollars towards AEG, the world's second largest live entertainment company behind Live Nation. Now, touring and live concerts have been the bread and butter for generating money in the music industry, but after Young Thug made one crucial mistake, he almost destroyed his career. Now, this is the untold story of risky contracts, lawsuits, and the financial moves that almost brought Young Thug's YSL empire to a halt. At the start of his rap career in Atlanta, Young Thug was a rising star from the streets, buzzing with talent. After building some motion with his mixtapes from his neighborhood of Cleveland Avenue, better known as Bleveland Ave because it was ran by Bloods, Thug would eventually get cosigns from Gucci Mane. Now, Gucci Mane would give Thugger his first opportunity and sign him to his 1017 Brick Squad label, a rite of passage that has been repeated by many ATL artists such as the Migos and Waka Flocka. This deal gave Gucci Mane control over Young Thug's recordings and a share of his earnings. However, when Gucci was sent to jail in late 2013, Thug saw an opening to sign somewhere else without realizing that his prior deal would remain a legal complication. Shortly after, Thug signed a full 360 deal with Artist Partner Group, better known as APG, which is an imprint of Atlantic Records. Now, shockingly, this contract came with only a $15,000 cash advance, an extremely low figure, even for new talent. Now, to put this into perspective, many other emerging artists at the time were securing advances worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and sometimes even millions of dollars. Now, for example, in 2017, rappers like NBA Youngboy signed with the same label, Atlantic Records, and received an advance of $2 million for a 5-year, 5-album deal, and Thug didn't even receive a tenth of that for a 360 deal.
Boy, I got a real plan.
Right.
When I signed my first deal, I signed the most fucked up deal in the world.
Right.
I don't give a damn. I just needed the platform.
Right.
I had the plan.
Right.
I know how to get out the deal.
Right.
But what exactly is a 360 deal, and why did it hurt Thug so badly? A 360 deal is the most traditional type of record deal in the music business. A 360 deal is a type of record contract where the label profits from every aspect of the artist's career. Yep, you heard me straight, just like that. Instead of getting paid just from the streams, they get a share of all the earnings, from the touring income, the merchandise, the sales, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the vinyls, the endorsements, and even the side ventures. The idea is that since the labels are taking out a risk, investing a lot of money into developing and promoting artists' careers, they deserve a cut, which seems to be a large amount, from all the revenue streams, and not just the albums. Now, in the words of T.I., a known Atlanta rapper, artists sign 360 deals out of desperation.
A 360 means you have accepted something from the label that has given them the right to accept a percentage, all of your ancillary businesses. That means your tour money,
records.
If you got sponsorship dollars.
Huh? That ain't got nothing to do with them. That ain't no music.
Ancillary.
And people actually sign that?
Of course they do. Listen, most times artists are only looking for what they're getting right then.
Now, everything that T.I. said was correct. Typically, artists who sign 360 deals don't have any real leverage or negotiation power. Now, in Young Thug's case, this meant that no matter how successful he became on the road, in the streets, in the fashion world, the label would make a bag off his likeness. What made Thug's situation so bad was that Thug's contract locked him into a commitment for up to 6 music projects, essentially tying him up for years. Every show he performed and every t-shirt he sold, he gave a piece of the profit to APG/Atlantic, which severely limited how much money he could actually pocket regardless of his hustle or popularity. Now, this restrictive contract created a confusing and stifling situation with both Gucci Mane's label and APG claiming some rights to his music and his career, and Young Thug found himself trapped. He was unable to freely drop new projects or cash in on his own rising fame without the risk of getting sued. Now, for a period of time, Young Thug's career was essentially on pause mode, with legal complications, slowing down his momentum, and making business decisions confusing. Now, it wasn't until more experienced industry advisors stepped in that Thug was able to get out of this overlapping contracts, finally joining 300 Entertainment in 2014, a major label ran by Kevin Liles and Leo Cohen, where he eventually launched his own YSL Young Stoner Life label, producing massive music festivals, operating world-famous venues, and managing international tours with some of the biggest names in the business. Now, they own and control arenas like the O2 in London and the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles. And they're heavily involved in organizing concerts, sporting events, and large-scale entertainment experiences all around the world. Now, instead of signing artists to music contracts, AEG typically works with artists and their teams to promote tours, handle logistics, and manage event productions at a scale few companies can match. But why did a company that specializes in tours and events end up so deeply involved in Young Thug's career? In 2017, Young Thug and his label YSL made a significant business move by signing a contract with AEG. Now, this deal gave YSL an immediate $5 million loan, essentially a large cash advance meant to help fund operations and maintain the momentum of Young Thug's career that was rapidly rising. But there was a big catch. As collateral damage for this advance, Young Thug put up the rights to over 400 songs from his music catalog, and that meant if the loan wasn't repaid as agreed, AEG could claim the ownership of these valuable assets. Now, on top of that, AEG secured worldwide rights to promote Young Thug's concerts, meaning they're supposed to handle all of his live performance globally. And if Thug were to perform shows that were organized by AEG, he would still be required to send them a share of the profits. But how did this lucrative agreement become a $60 million nightmare? What went wrong? By 2018, these actions, along with the missed payments on the loan, led to AEG to claim that Thug was in a default and it violated their exclusivity arrangement. Now, the situation escalated entirely in 2021 when Thug sold his entire share of the same catalog, over 400 songs, to Cobalt Music, a third-party company, for $16 million. Now, this sale was done without AEG's involvement and their knowing, even though those songs were basically promised as collateral damage if he had unpaid loans. Now, as a result, AEG accused Young Thug of trying to outmaneuver and finesse his way out of his contract, which was their original deal, and swiftly filed a lawsuit against them for a breach of contract. AEG alleged that Thug's actions not only prevented them from recouping their loan, but also violated clear terms of exclusivity and collateral rights. But just as the legal drama reached its peak, everything paused literally in mid-2022 when Thug was arrested on a serious RICO charge stemming from the YSL label's alleged criminal activity. Now, suddenly, the AEG lawsuit and the centerpiece of Thug's business drama was put on ice while he was focused on fighting for his freedom in an Atlanta courtroom. Now, for months, fans and industry observers watched as both the criminal and the civil cases cast its shadows on Young Thug's career, donning him as the King Slime and the John Gotti of Atlanta, leaving his finances and the future up in the air. But it wasn't until 2025, after Thug accepted a plea deal in the RICO case, and Thug was released from jail. But with Thug being released from jail, AEG picked up the lawsuit again. In early 2025, they reached a settlement. In early 2025, AEG and Young Thug's YSL company reached a confidential agreement, a move that closed the books on years of financial uncertainty and legal limbo for Thug as well as the company. The court officially signed off on it, letting Thug move forward with his life and his entire rap career. Though what he paid, relinquished, and gained remained a guarded secret. Now make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel and hit that post notification bell. I'll catch you guys in the next one.